What's up, guys? This is Bobby Douglas, and we are back today with another 2020 NBA Draft Prospect full game video breakdown. And today we're going to be looking at USC big man Onyeka Okongwu. Seemingly searched the entire world to find a full game online of USC, and I finally found one, so I just want to get this one done with so I don't have to worry about it anymore. So we're going to do Onyeka Okongwu today. He's seen as probably for sure a lottery pick, most likely a top 10 pick, maybe a top 5 pick. Somewhere in that mid lottery range is probably where he'll end up going. I currently have him 8th on my big board, and I think he's the best big man in the class. I think he's better than Wiseman. He's 6'9". He reminds me a lot of Bam Adebayo. I think Mike Schmitz did a whole full video, about like a 40-minute video comparing Bam to Onyeka. And again, this is a guy who's been on our radar since probably his freshman year in high school because he was playing at Chino Hills with all the Ball brothers. So he's definitely been around, and he's been a household name for a really long time now. So I'm excited to watch this game with you. And the only one I found is they played Marquette, and he had 12 points, 4 rebounds, 4 blocks, an assist, and a turnover. And he fouled out with like 7 minutes left in the second half, so we only played 25 minutes. And USC got dusted in this game. Marcus Howard had 51 points. So yeah, it's just one of those games. This is the only one I could find. He still showed some good things in this game, so I'm excited to watch it with you guys. So let's get right into it. And I will make this. Here we go. So here we go. We're in it. He's number 21 in red, and he's a big guy. He'll play most of his time in the paint. He averaged 16 points and around 9 rebounds a game, which is very solid, especially for a freshman. Again, I think he's a very good passer, and just in terms of knowing and making reads and stuff. We saw right there he got to the line, it looks like, already. Again, I think he's going to do really good things out of a short roll because I think he does have a developing floater game, and I do think he can bully you in the post if need be. He also is really good at passing in those short roll situations, I think. So I think that's probably his role in the NBA. I do think he's very mobile. Again, a 79% free throw shooter. That came down a little bit to 72% this year as he misses that one. But again, he has shown promise for a mid-range shot at least. Maybe a 3-point shot. He only took 4 threes on the year and went 1 for 4, but his one was basically a half-court shot against Arizona, I think. So nothing really to take away there. He's still trying to find his range and expand his range. And we've seen him make 1 free throw so far. So again, I think he's a very good defender as well. I think he's a guy who you can switch. So right there, that was one of those plays where he probably did the right thing there. It looked like there was a switch that was called out, but he didn't. But his teammate didn't really react that way. So that's not on him. But I think he's a big man who's definitely comfortable switching on to smaller players. He can definitely hang on the perimeter a little bit. So I think that's really his upside. So right now he's already switched on to Marcus Howard, and then he comes back down. So he's hedging Howard, and Howard couldn't really do anything there, even though he hits that shot, but that's not on him. Again, but I just think he's very comfortable on the perimeter defensively. I think defensively is where he'll make his impact the most pronounced early on in his career, and I think his offense will slowly come along. I think he's a smart player. I think he is capable of making good reads. Let's see what he does in the post here. So he didn't do much there. He just found a kick-out pass, which is still a solid play. But so yeah, and also he's a big hustle guy, big energy guy. Again, 8.6 rebounds on the season per game. He's chiseled. He's pretty strong. He can carve out space well and get rebounds. He's very good he fouls out in this game, but really he's pretty good at staying vertical on shot blocking. Again, he averaged 2.4 blocks this year per game, which is just absurd. And again, he has 4 in this game. So yeah, there's a lot of things to like with Okongwu, I would say. And again, I do think he's the best big man in the class. I usually will not have big men super high on my big board, meaning like top 5, just because I'm just not really a fan. So right there, that's a good vertical contest from him. I think somebody got that steal beneath him. So yeah, here he is. And looks like there is. So again, he got called for a foul there, but he looked pretty straight up to me. That's just one of those unavoidable foul calls that you're going to get. So we'll skip these free throws. Again, he fouls out very early in the second half as well, so that's kind of a shame, but we see enough good things here. So here he is. Again, that's a really difficult pass to judge, and he made that pretty flawlessly. Again, he only averaged 1 assist a game compared to 2 turnovers, but he does have that natural passing touch where I do think he could be really effective in short roll situations and passing out of the post. I do think that is a very underrated part of his game, and we saw that pass right there to Nick Rakocevic. I mean, that's a really difficult pass to make. He just lofted it up perfectly over to post defender, and he got it right on the hands of Rakocevic, who finished for an easy layup. So we got more free throws here, so I'll skip those. So again, very comfortable hedging. Like, I don't think Isaiah Stewart from yesterday could have really done that. It's just things like that. So Marcus Howard is starting to go off, so I'll skip this free throw here. Or what do they call it? Do they call a charge on that? They did. Interesting. So again, the big man he's going up against in the post right now is Theo John, who is a very strong big man. And right there, he did a good contest, but Theo John just muscled it through him. But Theo John's a big, strong dude, as you can see right there. So for Okongwu to kind of hang like that against Theo John as a freshman is pretty impressive. I know a lot about this Marquette team because I did my freshman year at Marquette, so I know a lot about their program and everything. And then I transferred to Notre Dame. See, that's a good job boxing out. Just, again, nothing really that flashy, but just getting a body on Theo John. Let's get another foul here. Just want to make sure we're not missing anything. So again, now Okongwu's going to be on Ed Moore, who's another thick, physical big man. He's a little bit undersized. It looks like we have a turnover here, so we'll get the ball back. And again, I don't want you guys to think of me ranking him 8th in the class as like a slight. I don't think it's a slight at all. I think he's a really good player. But for me personally, I just favor guards and wings over big men. That's kind of that's been my philosophy for a really long time when evaluating draft prospects. Unless there's like a really super athletic big guy who's just by and large like the best player in the class. You can make that case for Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Davis, DeAndre Ayton, perhaps, even though he had Luka in his class. But just guys like that, I'll put them higher. But there's no transcendent big man in this class. And so Okongwu at 8 is just more of a reflection of my preferences in drafting rather than rather than something on Okongwu's part. So I just want to get that out of the way. Let's play from here. That time he was pretty mobile as a screener. He got the ball on the inbounds pass and then he did a little DHO and then into a ball screen. This was Marcus Howard, I think. I don't know what they're reviewing here. There we go. So he's on the ball. Again, another decent post entry to Rakocevic. And again, Okongwu is playing a lot of his minutes with Nick Rakocevic, who's another back-to-the-basket big. So you look at what he could have done with more spacing, and a lot of his turnovers could probably be contributed to the fact that he just was going up against a clogged paint a lot of the time. So, if in most NBA teams today run a 4-1, 4 out, 1 in, and so I'm guessing Okongwu would be the 1 in this situation, and I think he'd be a lot more effective and a lot more free to roam. So yeah, Marcus Howard had 40 in the quarterfinals of this tournament. This is like the Orlando Invitational, I think. He had 40 in the game against Davidson, and he had 51 today. So Okongwu is out right here, so I'll skip ahead to 1913 is when he comes back in. So again, he's in the post, and now he's guarding Jace Johnson, who's like a big 7-foot, just traditional big man. And again, Okongwu's only 6'9". That's something to realize too. So you look at a guy like Isaiah Stewart, who's also only 6'9", but I think Okongwu is such a more viable NBA guy, and again, that goes to show you why I have them 50 spots apart from each other. Because look, Okongwu, like, he can move his feet a lot better than Stewart. He can defend on the perimeter. I think he's a better overall rebounder. I think he has a little bit more potential offensively, just because I think he's easier to use in the NBA. And so I just like Okongwu's upside a lot more than Isaiah Stewart's. So again, here he is in the high post again. So right there, you probably should have gotten a little bit more of a contest on Howard on the help. But again, look at this. Like, Marcus Howard already has 18 points in this game. It's just one of those days with him. We got a timeout by USC. So Okongwu just set a down screen, and now he's in the post. Let's see what he does here. So right there, that's just like a really strong move. Again, it looks kind of clunky and a little bit unorthodox, but it gets the job done. Again, I believe he was a 61.6% field goal shooter this year, which is very good. And again, right there, I think he's a lot quicker. He's a lot more agile than Isaiah Stewart or some of the other big men in this class. And again, he has a lot more body control, I think, even though that looked a little bit spazzy in a way. But again, it got the job done, and he knocked in and won. He made the free throw there. So again, here he is. Now he's totally switched on to Howard. And again, look at how well he contained Howard. Howard couldn't really get anything there, and then he went back to the big man. I really think that's his potential in the NBA. Just a total switchable defender. I think he could probably guard 1 through 5 in the NBA. Like, I really do. I think he's that good of a defender. And so it'll take a little bit. It'll obviously take a little while to just get him acclimated to the NBA defense and coverages and things like that. But I do think he's going to be a very, very, very good defender. Oh, yeah, and sorry for the late upload on Isaiah Stewart yesterday. I tried to upload it 3 or 4 times, and it just wouldn't work. So I ended up getting him up late, very late last night, so I apologize for that. So Okongwu, again, is now in the post. And I'll come up and set a ball screen here. And again, he has space right there to roll. I wish they would hit him in the post because he's getting good position. But again, USC, I'm not going to totally criticize Enfield and stuff, but I don't think they used him nearly as well as they could have. Again, that's another good box out of Theo John. Just carving out space, getting wide, getting low, using his arms to prevent Theo John from moving anywhere. There's a block from Okongwu. Again, good job staying disciplined. He didn't bite on that shot fake. And again, he was able to, that might have been due to a lack of spacing from Marquette, but he was able to check his man in the paint while also still providing rim protection. And again, you saw how quick his reflexes are. He has a pretty good pretty good initial jump. He's quick off the ground. So again, that allows him to get to a lot of shots. And we got another foul and free throws here, looks like. So skip these. So here's Okongwu at the perimeter. Again, I think he's good at just catching and just analyzing cutters, reads on offense, things like that. And I think a lot of his turnovers were due to a lack of spacing and a lot of clogging of the paint. And that's something he couldn't really necessarily control. So again, we saw right there, that's a nice little jump shot from him. Again, it's pretty fluid form. I think it needs a little bit more work, obviously, but I think he will grow in that aspect. I don't necessarily think he'll be a knockdown guy, but I think he'll be a guy where you need to respect him, at least from the mid-range area. Good job helping there. I don't know what number 25 was doing, or is that 15, 25? So here he's on Kobe McEwen, who's a guard. And again, look at how good. So right there, he got another block. Look at how awesome he played right there. Again, he was able to move his feet well. He cut off a driving lane. And even with his own teammate getting in the way of his defensive positioning on Kobe McEwen, he was still able to use that length and that quick jump to block that shot. Really good defense. Again, I really do think he is a 1-5 defender in the NBA. And that's just a very, very good overall play. Kind of deflection it looked like. So here he is operating in the post. And again, that time he kind of got bumped. Again, he needs to get a little bit stronger, I think. And again, it almost looks like in the post, he's almost forcing up shots. And he kind of gator arms things. There's not really a lot of touch there necessarily. I think he has that, but he just, oftentimes his form will just devolve into him. It'll just look like he's just throwing it at the rim. Good job hedging that. So here he is in the post. Again, that's a pretty solid pass. He saw the cutter well. And then there's a turnover that he had probably was a given there. He just didn't catch the ball. That's kind of a tough pass to make and receive, so. So here he's setting a high ball screen. Good job right there. Again, he probably should have made that layup. That just comes with a little bit more seasoning around the rim. And again, he still shot 62% from the floor. So, and this wasn't his best game, so. We got another timeout here, and I believe Okongwu goes out here, so I will skip ahead a few minutes and get him back in. So we got the last 3 minutes of the half here. So again, right now he is guarding Jace Johnson. He's in the post right now. So let's see what he does here. Again, and right here, that's good defense right there. Jace Johnson isn't known as a very gifted scorer, but still, he's giving 3 inches to Johnson right there, and he still managed to get his hands up and body him up physically. So that's a pretty good play overall. And again, Marquette's just railing USC right now. It's, they're down 23. This is not a competitive game by any means, but it's the only one I could find, and I found it just by, we got free throws here, it looks like, so I'll skip these, but this game Marquette was just en fuego. And again, I also think he's a pretty aware off-ball defender. You saw right there, he's kind of calling out cutters and stuff. And again, he got another block. I think that was on Howard. And that one he just totally swallowed. Howard didn't have a chance on that. And again, a good job, really good job just staying vertical. I think that's one of his strengths too. Again, he's a disciplined defender. He's a smart defender. Offensively, he's a little bit raw, but defensively, I think he's very advanced and very polished. So that time he kind of got a little bit of a phantom contest on Brendan Bailey. And that's a good deflection from him as well. So again, right here, he's comfortable stepping out onto perimeter and guarding people. Then he's running on the floor, and he probably had a lane for a rim run right there. But again, these guards for USC, they did not really target the post a lot. They were very high volume guards, so he didn't get the ball a whole lot. That's a really good move as well. I think that should have been an and one too. But look how, again, he's really quick off his feet. So he just did a little hop step, and he just jumped around Theo John, and he got a dunk out of it. That should have been an and one. In the NBA, it would have been. But in college, we'll see him shoot 2 free throws. So. Again, I think the form will get a little bit better. Right now, it looks a little bit clunky. But I think he definitely has a shooting touch. Knock that one down as well. So again, right now he chases out Howard. And again, Howard can't really do anything against him, And you got that steal right there. Again, really good play defensively. Again, active, alert on defense. Let's see what he does here. See, that's a jumper where maybe you don't take that. But that one looked a little bit rushed. He can get a little bit sped up on offense. Defensively, I think he's very alert, very aware. Offensively, he's a little bit sped up. Sometimes doesn't look as comfortable as you'd like him to be. Good job staying down again. I think we got a jump ball here. And then I think I'm going to just end the video here unless I can get, let's see what I can do here. Oh, no, we can watch less. Okay. I believe USC gets a 5-second call here. And then it's just a throw up. So I'll end the video here. So, again, thank you guys for watching. That was just the first half of USC Marquette where we were focusing on Onyeka Okongwu. I hope you guys saw a lot of good things that Okongwu does, especially on the defensive end. And again, on offense, I hope you see that he has room to grow. And yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. I will upload the second half video as soon as this one is finished uploading. And yeah, again, like and subscribe, please, if you haven't already. And yeah, thank you, and we will see you then.